Today's adventure is all about Sturgis. We're going to show you how to avoid tickets and all those extra costly things that can add up that you weren't expecting. We're also going to show you how to pack your clothes and the things you need to bring along for the Sturgis trip, and we're also going to give you some more tips that can help you get by. Hi, I'm Bob.
And I'm Tam.
And we are Bob and Tam's Excellent Adventure. So let's start off with Tam showing you all the ways to pack your stuff.
Okay, so you want to bring your chaps because you never know what kind of weather you're going to go through. We've been through hail, and it's always nice to have your chaps. So your chaps, you always just kind of wad them up and you throw them in your bag, right? And then they always take up so much room. So I'm going to show you, which somebody taught me, how to fold your chaps so they don't take up quite as much room. So you start them out like this, unzipped, fold them up, lay them down flat, you want the snaps on the outside, zippers on the outside. Take the belt, fold it over, fold it down. You want this nice and flat. You fold it over once, fold it over twice, and you pick it up. So your folded sides that way. Put the snap sides down. Roll it in one side, roll this side in. Snap it up. 1, 2, 3. There you go. Then it fits nice and easy into your side bag. Doesn't take up too much room. You've got lots of extra storage in there for any other kind of gear you want to put in. Simple. You got to pack your clothes. Shirts sometimes take up a lot of room too. So this is what a trick somebody at Harley showed us. So you take your shirt and you make a pocket. So you fold it under a couple inches, 2-3 inches. You fold each side in. Roll it up. And when you get to the end, you take your pocket. There you go, and then it doesn't come undone. And when you unfold it, you don't have a lot of wrinkles either. So you can get a lot more shirts in this way. We live out here on the West Coast where you don't have to really worry about rain, but going across country, it rains a lot. So you also need your rain gear. So we have a rain jacket. Always come prepared. We have the rain pants. We each have a pair. And then Bob has rain boots because your feet get soaked if it's pouring down rain, especially if it's coming towards you. You always want to take a good pair of gloves, some that are rain resistant, that'll beat off the weather so your hands don't get all wet. So make sure you take your rain gear because you will get rained on, I guarantee you. So traveling across the country, it does get hot in some sections, especially if you're going through any parts of the desert or in the Midwest. So we have these cooling vests. They're really nice. They have these little gel-filled pockets. So what you do is you get these all wet, you put them on. Bob puts his on right next to his skin and then his shirt. I put this on over my shirt, and it's just like air conditioning. So when we're not using them, or if we think it's going to get hot, we just put them inside of a baggie, wet them, and then when we need them, we can take them out and they're all ready to go. So don't forget your cooling vests. You'll need it if you get hot. Also, when we ride, we also always take our riding boots when we're riding long distances. We also carry a pair of tennis shoes in the bike because once you stop, you want to get out and walk. Sometimes the riding boots aren't very comfortable to walk in, so we always change into our tennis shoes. What we did is we also bought an extra pair of jeans that are bigger. So if it's warm, you want to wear something to cover your legs, so we put those on over our shorts. Then when we get to our destination, we can take those bigger jeans off, have shorts on underneath, take off of our boots, our riding boots, and put on our tennis shoes.
All right, this part is how to stay out of trouble while in Sturgis. So we're going to give you a few of the rules that we found out about, mostly from friends that we were with. They've gotten tickets. We've also seen a couple of these things happen. So we want to give you some tips to stay out of trouble. First of all, in Sturgis, there is no alcohol to be consumed on the streets of Sturgis. That will get you pretty much an instant ticket. Last couple we had, it was a little over $200 cash. If you paid up cash, they let you go. If not, they wrote you the ticket. Next thing you want to watch is watch where you park. Just because you see a bunch of bikes sitting on the side of the road all lined up, you might think that's a safe place to be. Well, it's not. We sat there in Sturgis and seen over 50 bikes towed away. If you haven't seen the way they hook them up on a sling and pull them away, it's a miracle. It's something you can't even believe. But when we were sitting there, you look up, there was a sign that said no parking at all. But of course, that's the guilty thing. But nobody, the bad thing was all those bikes got towed away and nobody even came up to claim their bike before it got towed away. So that was kind of sad. So remember, there's a lot of different places to park. Some of them, they have the regular sign parking places in Sturgis that you can park. Got to stay away from the grocery store. You can't stay on that one overnight or during the day too long. They time you and watch you. They'll tell you too. So keep an eye on that. Also, one of the other big tips that is hard to understand by being a biker is when you're stopping at a stop sign, you've got to put both feet down and touch the ground. They say you are not in total control of your bike stopped until your feet touch the ground. They'll get you all over. We've seen them out by the Veteran Cemetery going out towards Rapid City, sitting under the viaduct. And when people came off that exit ramp, they were just picking them off like flies. So remember, when in Sturgis and in the area, make sure you're putting your feet down when you come to that stop sign. Next thing, when you're riding out on the windy roads, watch out for those slow riders. Nothing worse than coming around that curve and you see somebody with little or no experience riding on the highway and they're doing 20 miles an hour in a 35 mile an hour turn and we're doing 60. So make sure when you're coming around, you're really paying attention of that issue. One of the other things we found out in talking to a lot of people that live in Sturgis, they say a lot of the motorcycle accidents happen from animals running across the road. I was also told that what you have to do is you're better off just aiming for them, because most of the accidents, they swerve for a rabbit or a deer or whatever it may be. They swerve, they jerk the bike so hard, they go off the road, and that's how the mishap happens, and some people actually even pass away from that. So it's something to take care of. The odds are, if it's a rabbit, squirrel, the odds are you could hit that thing and you could roll over it and keep control of your bike. So they always say keep an eye on that, because your reflexes may cause you to have a wreck more than you actually hitting the object. The odds are it's fast enough, it's probably going to get off the road before you ever get near it anyway. Other thing when you're thinking about getting into traveling into Custer State Park. Custer State Park is priceless. We've been there twice now and seen the whole herd come between us and our bike. Just crazy. But what you have to remember, these are bisons and they can be dangerous. So what you have to remember is if you're coming up on a bison, if it starts snorting at you or anything like that, that's the first sign they give you before it attacks you. The other thing you got to watch out is its babies. If it's got a baby with it, you stay as far away as possible. A lot of times when we're there in August, the other bad thing that happens, it's mating season for them. So they look at a motorcycle as another bull. So watch out. They will ram the motorcycles. I've seen them ram a car. So kind of keep track. A lot of times the rangers will kind of tell you what's going on and that kind of thing like that. So those are the tips mainly to really keep track of. Here's a couple helpful hints that can help you make it a little easier in Sturgis. You know, you don't want to get a ticket for DUI riding your motorcycle. So there's actually a thing that's called the bus, and I'll put a link right here that you can check out. You can sign up, you can buy a pass for the day, for the week, for the ride, and it'll go to most of all the major campgrounds. That way you can park your bike, go in there, do your drinking, having a party, get on the bus and ride on back. There's also some other campgrounds that actually have their own shuttle service. One of the ones that we stay at, we stayed in the past, was Kathmandu. They had their own bus. I think that's the only one that we actually stay that had their own bus. But you can check that when you're calling, things like that, and see what's going on. One of the other things you can do, especially when you're riding your motorcycle, we've been really lucky that we've been able to ship things to the campground, go by UPS. So call your campground up. Same thing when we stayed at that Kathmandu. You had to bring your own linens, your own towels, all that kind of stuff. We just boxed all that stuff up and we sent it on down to the campground, and they actually had it sitting in our cabin when we arrived. So that saved a lot of time. Also, we've been in Sturgis where we bought t-shirts, we bought a bunch of stuff to bring back, you know, that junk that you just got to have. We put it all in a bag, and we took it down to a UPS store, and we just shipped that stuff on back. So that saved him from sticking another extra bag on the bike. So hopefully all these hits will help you to make your life and your experience in Sturgis be a little funner. All right, remember, we're going to be in Sturgis we're going to be arriving there on the 20th of July. We're going to be looking at a lot of different things. We're also going to be doing a lot of rides before Sturgis actually starts. So the idea is we're going to start vlogging pretty much right away. So pretty much every day I'm going to have a vlog starting on a certain day. We'll give you that date once we get there. We'll announce it by a video to let everybody know when the vlogging will start. And we'll be showing you all the different rides, some of the behind the scenes that are going on, some of the concerts that they do decide to have, all the different events that happen. And if they do end up, the town of Sturgis closes up their part of the rally, remember, that doesn't mean that there isn't going to be a rally. That just means there's not going to be any major vendors inside the city limits. That doesn't mean that people that already have stores, bars, and restaurants going to be closed. Most of them are already open now. So we're going to leave you with that. Make sure you keep watching us, and we're going to leave you with Tam's last word, and it is...
Thanks for watching. Leave us some comments. Subscribe to our channel, give us a thumbs up, and ring that bell for notifications. And we'll see you on the next video.
Ride safe.